Hello, all you out there in dancer world. This is Nick Drago alongside my co-host Desiree Robbins, and we're bringing you some bonus material today. Hey, Des.
I love it.
This is part of our Where Are They Now
Absolutely.
segment.
It's a brand new one.
It's a brand new one. We're sitting here in Fort Myers, Florida. Des, tell them where we are.
We are at the Dance Warehouse, home of Command Performance Company with Cheryl Sington. You guys can check them out online at thedancewarehouse.org, O-R-G. Make sure you check them out. Great studio. It's a beautiful facility.
Thank you so much. We've worked really hard to get it open for Fort Myers people and families, and they seem to be taking to it. So
Oh,
we're
man.
excited.
You have everything. You've got a nice teen lounge. You've got a place for the kids to hang out when other siblings are dancing.
Exactly. The playroom was a big bonus for me. I really wanted a place the kids could play while their siblings were dancing.
Right,
so that
right.
was a big bonus. And then we also have it Wi-Fi'd so the kids can do their homework
Perfect.
and while they're waiting to take classes and so forth. So.
Oh, yeah. It's state of the art.
That would have been a huge help when I was in school if we would have had Wi-Fi. Well, I guess it would have been a huge help if we'd have had internet.
Yes.
They hadn't invented that yet, huh?
No, it hasn't. But we're sitting here with Cheryl, and Cheryl is one of the dancers from the original Thriller video.
Yeah.
And that's huge, and I want us to talk a little bit about that in a moment. And we also have to talk about your college prep boot camp, which is huge for anybody who's trying to go to school.
And everybody should.
Everyone should.
They should.
And we all know that it's a pain in the B-U-double-T to get that scholarship money and do your essays and this and that. And you provide this service to help assist those kids get to where they want to go. So we want to get into that, but first we want to hear about Thriller.
Yeah, of course.
Well,
As she
okay.
laughs.
So first tell us when you moved to Los Angeles, or how long you were there for, and how you kind of got involved with Thriller.
Okay. Well, I decided I didn't really want to go to college. How about that?
I'm shocked.
I
PhD
know,
here.
PhD,
Okay.
and
And I want you to know behind her is a beautiful article of her with Thriller and Michael Jackson. So anyway, go on.
And so my parents were adamant that I go to college, so I got a degree in dance. And then as soon as I finished, I happened to be in a summer stock performance, and a producer said, I really think you should come to LA. Sean
Wow.
Newman, who is a really good friend of mine still. And I went out for the summer and took some classes with Jaime Rogers and some different people around town, and decided I really liked LA. I wasn't sure if I wanted to go to LA or New York at that time.
Right. A big decision for
Big
lots of people.
decision. And so I went back home and finished out my dance contract with the company I was with, and then packed up and moved out.
Wow.
And just immersed myself in classes everywhere I could find a class. Alex Magno, Jaime, just anybody, Doug Caldwell, all of them. Anywhere I could take a class. And as I took more and more classes, at that point in time, there was no dancers union or anything to represent us. And so really it was who you knew. They would say, hey, you know what, we've got this little audition for something. Let's go do this. I need, and dancers really didn't have a whole lot of audition places unless you were doing a tour or a Broadway show. Music videos did not exist.
It's weird to say that, isn't it?
Yes.
Choke on your words.
I am verklempt. And so when they were talking to us about coming over and doing an audition for a music video, of course, we really thought they were all a little crazy.
Wow.
But we went and they did a larger audition, basically with different students that had been brought in from other teachers, and narrowed us down and did the call, and just kept going to the callback until it was this, not a small group of people, but it was a small group of people in the big scheme of things. And then we jumped right in there and started
believe what
filming.
it became?
No, never had any idea, because we would have signed a contract for royalties, perhaps, had we known it was going to be big. I mean, that's all I'm saying. We would have.
Well, and it was groundbreaking at the time, so no one had any clue that it was going to be that big. So you all really are the pioneers of the music video inside of the industry. People use that as an example now that,
And think about how many auditions did you go to get that one job? I mean, it must have been weeks.
I believe it was, I would say, somewhere like up in the teens.
Wow.
We went, they narrowed down little by little by little. It was I guess a cattle call in a way, but not 3,000, 5,000 people. But but it was a lot of fun. It was stressful and scary a little bit. But Michael Peters was fun to work with.
Oh, I bet.
And watching he and Michael Jackson collaborate on the choreography was wonderfully interesting to me. That
I just got the
loved
chills.
watching all that.
That's awesome.
So how long was the entire process from audition until you were wrapped on set?
Well, we filmed and did all of the stuff that way for 6 weeks, but the audition process had been about I would say over 3 weeks, somewhere around there, 3-4 weeks, and then we went into the 6 weeks of production.
Oh my gosh, what a job.
I think it's safe to say that you are part of one of the best dance jobs to ever take place in the history of the world, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and I got to make a lot of friends and some
bet.
good connections that I still am in touch with today. And and I got to, John Landis and I went and did a guest appearance in Orlando the year after Michael Jackson passed away for the Zombie Fest, and so we did a book signing. So I got to see him again. It was just, it's nice to catch up and kind of relive the old days, I guess, if you will.
Love it. Well, yeah.
Again, we're talking to Cheryl Sington here at the Dance Warehouse in Fort Myers, Florida, home of the Command Performance Company. And you can check them out online at thedancewarehouse.org. And that's not warehouse, W-E-A-R. It's W-A-R-E. Wow.
And
can I
he went
spell?
to college.
I need to go to your college prep boot camp. That's thedancewarehouse.org. Let's switch gears and talk about that college prep boot camp. And we have, just so you guys know, we have stopped Cheryl. It is her lunchtime. And you can eat your salad while we're doing this.
She's like,
I can't do two things at once.
Yeah, right.
So we want to talk about that college prep boot camp. While you're listening to this, you can go to singtonconsulting.com. That's SINGTON consulting.com and read along as we're talking. So tell us a little bit about it. How'd you get involved in this? What's your motivation? And then tell us a little bit about what your process is.
Okay. Well, I got involved because I was working with children in the public school community here in Fort Myers, and also before when I was in Albuquerque. And what I found was that college counselors are so bogged down with state requirements and all the paperwork and the testing that they don't actually have time to sit one-on-one with kids and do the process. And back in my day, we took one test and jumped into college. Now it's a process that you start
at birth,
pretty much, but also as you start your years in high school, the academic resume comes into place. And basically what I do is, my passion and my drive is to make sure that everybody continues their education in some way. Whether it's a 4-year university, a conservatory, a 2-year, the Army, a trade, whatever it is, the military, you can continue your education and there is money to cover it. So that is not an obstacle. And my job is to take that obstacle of monetary problems and remove it, as well as explain everything and what it means and take you through the process so it's smooth and your transition into the next phase of your life is successful.
Wow.
This is a great thing that you're doing, because I remember going through college, the college preparation.
It's overwhelming.
It was, and my mother was saying, "Nick, we gotta, do this and do this and do this," but it was her first time helping somebody get through, into college.
Right.
So I had no clue. I was running around literally like a chicken with my head cut off.
Right.
And it's exhausting to the point where you're like, you know what? I don't even want to deal with it.
Right. And I had a mother who didn't go to college, so she really felt helpless in trying to help me and my sister and my brother figure out what to do.
Well, and like I said, even nowadays, even if you went to college, the system is so different.
Right. Oh, wait. It changes.
It really has changed a lot.
So let me ask you this. At what age can they contact you for this college prep boot camp?
They can contact me at any age. Believe it or not, there's money out there starting as young as 5 years old that you can bank for college.
What? Can
I
bank that?
Yes. My daughter, I made her start in 6th grade, and each year she's banked maybe $1,000, $1,500. But by the time she graduates, she'll have a nice little pocket of money to jumpstart that. But there's money for everybody out there, even to go to a private school during your high school years, and people just don't know where to find it.
Wow.
And so
and they can go to the bookstore and look through thousands of college prep books, but it's much easier to just call you and you can point them in the right direction, because this is what you do.
Exactly. I take all of their information. I ask them crazy questions like, are you left-handed? How tall are you? Do you wear contacts? Different things like that, because there's a scholarship if you wear contacts from Bosch and Lomb. There's a scholarship if you're left-handed. There's a scholarship if you're a female that's 6 feet tall. So all those different things.
I got 2 out of 3.
Yeah. All those different things are money, and they're not necessarily based on grades or community service, although it's really nice to have those to back you up as well. But there's money out there for everyone.
Wow.
So there's no reason not to continue educating yourself in the line of work you would like to go in.
And kids listening at home, don't leave this up to your parents to call. Do it yourself.
Right.
You know, I mean, tell them to call Cheryl Sington, because let me tell you, it is going to save you a lot of hassle later on in life. You're not thinking about this now, but you're going to have to pay that money back if you don't get scholarship money.
Be empowered with knowledge.
Yes,
now.
Be ready for it. And I think, Cheryl, you would agree that it's important for dancers to have a higher education if they can get that, because, at some point in life, we're going to stop being professional dancers and need to move into something else.
Or be smart dancers.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No,
being
a smart dancer and having a plan B, because as you know, as we get older, our bodies don't let us do as much as we want to, and to have a background to be able to go into something else that you love in some way is very important.
Okay, how about this? What if they're in college? Can they call? If they're already in college currently, can they call you?
Absolutely. There's tons of money for kids already, or students already in college. And there's also money for beyond that, your master's, med school, anything like that. There is plenty of money out there.
And it doesn't matter what kind of college you're going to. It could be a technical institute.
It could be. You could be following your trade. You could be going to a culinary institute. You could be going.
I love this.
There's all different things you can do. You can go to cosmetology school. It's really what your interest and your passion is, and making sure you have the means to be successful with that.
Yeah, and you've got over 25 years of experience in the education field, so it's not like you just decided to do this one day.
No. I have 25 plus years in all levels of education, from pre-K all the way through post-secondary. And both sides of it, a parent and an administrator on the other side. So I understand the process that it does take and how stressful it can be on families. And my goal is to remove that stress from the families so that process is fun for the children.
All right. Well, your students are blessed.
And so what are the, just to kind of give people an idea, you can go to singtonconsulting.com. That's SINGTON consulting.com for this college prep boot camp. And what all do they need to have prepared for when they call you?
All they need to do right now is if they choose to call me or email, is be prepared to answer some questions, because I have to get some, their background. Of course, they may have questions about the program itself, but then I will ask questions about your heritage. Are you Jewish? Are you Catholic? I mean, there's different things. There's scholarships for Catholic students, Lutheran students. Different ethnicities. There's community service scholarships. There's just so many different things. Talent scholarships, and academic, of course, as well. Local, state, and national, and putting your finger on those and knowing those matches, so you're not wasting your time sending scholarships into places that you're not going to be considered.
Right.
Is huge.
Oh, gosh, that was great information.
Yeah, and don't be nervous. I mean, Cheryl's cool. We're sitting with her right now. She's got a salad sitting next to her. Like, she's very relaxed. So I usually get nervous in situations like this because I'm high anxiety. I don't know if you guys knew that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'm so
shocking.
surprised.
Yeah. But they can call and ask you the dumbest questions, quote unquote, because I always feel like, okay, I got a dumb question, but it's not a dumb question, because
no dumb question.
You go to college once usually. I mean, it's. You know what I mean? So that's what she's here to do. And again, this is the College Prep Boot Camp with Cheryl Sington. You can go to singtonconsulting.com. You got something, Des?
Well, I was going to say, let me give the phone number since we're talking about calling.
Go
it's
ahead.
area code 239-823-7004. Again, 239-823-7004. Cheryl will be there to answer all your questions and more.
And if you're ever in Fort Myers, come to the Dance Warehouse.
Yeah, and she has master classes because we're about to teach.
I know, we are.
And Nick is probably getting nervous, Cheryl, because he's got to get ready.
I'm sweating. I need to go over my combo.
Yes, we try to bring in master classes for the dancers in Fort Myers, so they are really exposed to as many different teachers that are out there. That's really important to me as a dancer and as a teacher.
And her website is very easy for thedancewarehouse.org. She has it all listed for you, plus I've made a link from my website, desworld.com, and we will certainly have one on infinitedancecast.com.
Absolutely.
Cheryl,
we want to thank you for joining us.
Thank you
thank you so much for having me.
Yay, it's
Well, you
good
didn't have a
information.
choice.
That's true.
She left for lunch and we set up. We're like, hey.
You're doing an interview.
Your salad goes here and the microphone's here.
That's right.
Oh, man.
All right. That's it for Nick and Desiree's Infinite Dance Cast. The bonus material, Where Are They Now? Make sure you check out Cheryl Sington at the Dance Warehouse, home of the Command Performance Company. Go to thedancewarehouse.org. And for a college prep boot camp, go to singtonconsulting.com.
And that's all we have for now.
And that's it.
Thank you.
Deep breath, everyone.
Baby.
See y'all later.